Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Brace yourselves, right? AARP's AgeTech Collaborative at CES 2024. AgeTech Collaborative is AARP's startup accelerator program, leveraging AARP's sprawling reach and emerging technology, companies with a goal of accelerating innovation and transforming lives for the 50-year-plus community. We're not just here to talk about the latest gadgets. We're here to prove that age is just a number, and so's the font size on your smartphone. Awful. As we embark on this exciting journey of innovation and discovery, let's celebrate the wisdom that comes with age and the boundless possibilities that lie ahead. The final frontier is not just in space, but in the innovation brings us together at this moment all over the world. Through the proto technology that you see here today, educators are beaming into classrooms to teach students from thousands of miles away. Doctors are beaming into medical centers to train future healthcare providers and diagnose patients remotely. And incredibly handsome convention speakers are beaming into keynote stages. Hey, David Nussbaum, the founder of Proto, and Danielle Duplin, advisor for AgeTech Collaborative. Thank you for inviting me to AARP's AgeTech Collaborative and for propelling us into this brave new world. Welcome to the future. Now, what's the best way of getting out of here? No, I'll choose just do it the old way.
And he's gone as quickly as he got here.
That was amazing.
He went out Captain Kirk style.
How did you get Captain Kirk to come hang out with us here in Vegas?
What other way can we start this thing off, right? I mean, the guy who made beaming people places famous, we had to beam him in. We recently beamed, I'm David Nussbaum, I'm the founder of Proto, and this is the Proto Epic. We just beamed Captain Kirk, Mr. Bill Shatner, in from another place, right?
Another planet.
We sent him, we've been beaming him everywhere lately. We recently sent him 8,000 miles away to a convention where he spoke in real time to a room full of marketing and advertising executives, and he even said they requested me to beam in as a hologram. They said it's actually better that I'm beaming in than if I was physically there in person.
Okay, so tell us, David, what did you build? What is this Proto? What are we looking at here?
Proto is the world's first single passenger holoportation technology. Beam anybody from anywhere to anywhere in real time. And the person or people beaming in have the near supernatural ability to completely interact with every person in their global audience. You could beam into more than one place at a time, and you could see everybody in every location.
So how can you say, are there cameras and speakers?
There's sensors, there's speakers, there's cameras, there's microphones. There's so much technology in here. It's plug and play, user-friendly, and you just plug it into the wall and it finds the Wi-Fi. And you just hook it up, and then you could literally beam anybody in no matter where they are in the world. It's a spatial computing and communication platform without having to put on a headset or without having to download anything. This is not VR, it's R, it's real. Everybody in the room sees it, it's a communal experience, and everybody gets the idea.
And what's happening at the source? So is there complicated technology to get the content into Proto?
Single camera. You don't need anything special. It doesn't require like a whole hologram setup and a room full of cameras and special technology. You could beam anybody from anywhere into anywhere using an iPhone, which is pretty great. And let me tell you, one of the reasons why I started this in my living room 5 years ago was because I live in Los Angeles.
Oh,
and my parents live in New Jersey. I grew up in New Jersey. My parents live in New Jersey. They're in their 80s. And I've got, at the time, I had 3- and 4-year-old daughters. And now I have 8- and 9-year-old daughters, and I have a 2-year-old son. And I thought, you know, it's impossible for my kids, hey, little Francis, hey, little Lucy, here's your grandparents. Get to know them on this phone through a Zoom or through a FaceTime. It's impossible. And my parents were missing out. You know, they're 3,000 miles away. It's impossible. And so I thought, what if? And I took inspiration from Bill Shatner. What if we could beam into each other's homes?
I love that.
It shouldn't just be for TV stars. It should be for everybody.
For families and caregivers and people
Yeah.
who are distant and want to be together. I think that's what made me fall in love with Proto so much, is that you actually feel connected to family members. We know that social isolation and loneliness is a huge problem for older adults who are aging alone at home, and for families who really want to be together, but they can't. And in fact, is this giant epic the only way that people can connect?
Well, you're saying it's just big enough for a larger than average person to beam in, but we have a Wonka Vision version, okay? Inspired by science fiction, once again, we've shrunk the Proto Epic down into a tabletop version. It's called the Proto M. By the way, we're right across the way. So if you want to become a hologram right after this is over, we'll beam you from one side of the booth to the other, and you leave with a really cool moment.
Well, and I love the M size, because I can imagine that being at the bedside table where grandparents can read a bedtime story to their grandkids. You know, you can have like a real meaningful interaction.
Yes.
So tell us, though, how are you applying it in healthcare settings?
Sure. I mean, it definitely assists with loneliness, beaming doctors into medical centers to train future healthcare providers how to treat and diagnose. We have an artificial intelligence backbone, so you can. It's your doctor's assistant. It's an examiner. It's really everything that you need when you need it. And not only is it great for entertainment and marketing, but when you're talking about medicine specifically, one of the first people who saw this immediately was a woman named Dr. Bari Hoffman. And she runs the medical center over at University of Central Florida. And she said, this is the way I want to use this. I want to, train future healthcare providers how to treat and diagnose.
Do you think we could go to Florida and meet her and see it working?
Let's go to Florida. Let's meet Bari.
Thank you. It's really great to be here with you both and talk to you about how we're using this cutting-edge technology to elevate the way we train the next generation healthcare provider at UCF. You know, we really saw this as an excellent opportunity to capture an individual's lived experience and step just a little further into human health to train our future healthcare providers how to deliver timely and empathetic care. We also saw this as an opportunity to expose our students to a wide range of patient conditions and severity levels, as well as clinical experts addressing important topics like patient safety and team-based care. I think the most exciting part of this technology for us is the high realism it provides, showing the most subtle of symptoms that are often missed on traditional 2D platforms. This has such enormous impact on clinical decision-making. You know, I would really love to be there in Las Vegas with you both and show you a few examples. Do you think it'd be okay if I came out there?
Oh, wow. We'd love to have you here in Vegas, but it's kind of far from Florida.
I'm here.
Oh my.
Holoboarding is so much faster than TSA Clear.
Exactly.
We're glad to have you here, Bari.
Thank you.
Welcome to CES. You have so many incredible examples that really showcases the power of this technology beyond just another monitor. So can you just take us through some of the way in which you're using it in the classroom?
Absolutely, it's my honor. You know, David, you created this amazing technology that's really transformed the way we're training our students. When they came back from the pandemic, they had learned how to learn independently, and we really needed to change that dynamic so that they had experiential approaches that helped them be more active learners and critical learners, and this has really been a differentiator for us.
Well, I'm glad you said that. Thank you. But I had an idea, and it's really the team of people that I work with every day that makes
All right,
Proto
so shout
what
out
it
to the
is.
Proto team.
Shout out to
everywhere.
the Proto team. None of this happens without the Proto team.
So we started to engage students with a wide variety of applications, storytelling of lived experiences, both from the patient and the caregiver, and really utilizing this tool for caregiver education, not just with our students, but across caregivers to help alleviate caregiver burden and burnout, and that's been really impactful for us. We've been utilizing this with embedded participants and skills training, grand rounds and case conferences so we can really train team-based care. We've really started to apply the technology in rural health so that we can begin to utilize the technology as a clinical extender or healthcare consultation and delivery of clinical services. But I think our very first integration with the technology was a live beam. And so you see here, there's a picture actually in our one of our ballrooms of our UCF campus where we were beaming in an expert who was just beginning to do some work in exercise oncology and was sharing some really groundbreaking data from his lab in Perth, Australia. So when we started using the technology in mid-2021, you'll recall that the US was starting to open up to travel, but it wasn't the case in Australia. And so what we were able to do was beam him in and expose our learners to this incredible research where he actually showed from his lab that exercise was changing tumor biology in prostate cancer. And so all of a sudden, we unlocked geographical constraints.
And I imagine the experience was so much more high touch than if you just kind of brought him in, let's say, through video conferencing.
Absolutely. Beyond this being a Zoom or any other video conferencing, we started to realize that people in the audience were responding differently. And so it led us down a path of research that was investigating co-presence. And so I'm going to share a few examples of how that really elevates and changes the way that we use the technology and the impact we know that it brings.
Love it, because this is the ultimate co-presence right here. We've got all these great people at CES.
So let me shift gears just a little bit, and I want to show you an example of utilizing the technology also as an anatomy lab. And so you see this brain here, and it allows us to really have our students interact with anatomical structures and understand the depth and proximity of adjacent structures. It also allows us to share patient experiences and then go back to the anatomy to describe and understand the pathophysiology.
I'm loving the 3D of the brain because AARP, we have such a huge focus on cognition and cognitive decline and brain health. So the fact that we can perhaps tie together some of the innovation that we're seeing and then its impact on the brain and have students learn more and deeply, this is extraordinary.
Well, I want to show you a few examples of the learning, the deep learning, and the self-regulated learning components. So here's an example of how we're using the technology actually to scale training and to be able to get patients to a quicker diagnosis, a better treatment path in a quicker manner, and improve quality of life. And so what you see here is actually an example of one of our neurologists behind the camera who's carrying out a neurologic assessment with a patient who has Huntington's disease. But what's really unique about this particular use case is that this neurologist runs an international fellowship in gait disorders. So you could imagine the years that it takes for a neurologist to finish this fellowship program and to have that higher level of skill and accuracy. These disorders are observational, and there's a wide variety of movement disorders and gait disorders that need to be observed in order to complete the fellowship. So by collecting all of this and creating a library of these movement disorders, we're able to actually increase the time or improve the time for completion of fellowship, really on a worldwide level.
What I love hearing about this is that, again, if you visit the innovators on the AARP side, there's many companies that are focused on neurological disorders, Parkinson's disease, the diseases of aging, MS, gait certainly is a huge risk for falls. So yes, we want more neurologists out there, so thank you.
Absolutely. And what's unique about this than seeing this on a 2D platform is actually the center of mass, which is really critical, particularly for balance and gait and the movement disorders. So we've been studying in our lab that difference between the volumetric video versus a 2D platform. So, another unique application is using the technology as a skills lab. And in the example that I'm showing you, we're using the tabletop Proto M's.
Yes.
The M, yeah. And actually, you see some of our students who are carrying out adapting technology for our assistive technology. And so we 3D print switches in this case, and they use the hologram and go by different stations to modify with simple engineering tools assistive technology for adults who don't have a hand grip or have the dexterity, have atrophy and spasticity. So we can do that pretty easily. But this can very easily become a skills lab for learning how to debris to burn or training in wound care. And training in wound care is really critical, not just for our students, but for caregivers.
Caregivers, for sure. And caregivers, especially caregivers, we learned yesterday through AAR research that many caregivers, in fact, 47% are solo caregivers, meaning they're alone at home with the people that they're caring for. And there's a high degree of anxiety around that, of all the different conditions that they might be asked to work with, that they may not have the training. So this being this beautiful way to train has got to really lower the anxiety as well as increase the competence.
Absolutely. So this is one of my favorite pictures to share. This is actually a classroom at the University of Central Florida. And this is actually my class, and the students are engaged in a lecture learning about head and neck cancer. The person that you see in the center in the hologram is a cancer survivor. And he's sharing his lived experience about just getting diagnosed, what the sequelae of symptoms were through treatment. I've been teaching this class for 24 years, and I can share these stories passed down to me from patients when I'm working with them clinically, but nothing can replace hearing that firsthand from the patient, right? And so etched in the students' minds are those psychological connections, and this gets back into the co-presence. This is the differentiator for us. So what we learned from the students is that they were connecting to the content and the competencies, and we're seeing a change in their skill set, right? And so we wanted to study that a little bit further. So we really began engaging in a line of research in co-presence, which has the ability really to help individuals make that interaction more authentic. And from our research, the participants were stating that they feel as if they can interact in that same physical space collectively, which modifies their mutual reality.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait to see more examples.
And so we'll share a little bit more. But, really quickly, I just want to share, there's a library of different types of experiences that we're using to train our students to reduce barriers to care, right? And so, as a response to a call of action to address health disparities, particularly around the social determinants of health, we started to build a library of experience to train in that regard. And so what you see here in this picture is actually students engaging in an AI conversation to be able to pull out those barriers to care from social determinants of health. We've also engaged in work in a pain science curriculum, building a therapeutic alliance, caregiver education, and all of these are funded research projects. And we're most excited about our newest product, which is actually a whole curriculum in aging and the biopsychosocial aspects of aging that is going to be delivered 100% via hologram.
Love it. Love it.
That's exciting.
Yeah, imagine.
So
I approve.
So really briefly, I want to highlight a 2-year project we have with the National VA Simulation Center. And we are working across the technology to integrate it for veterans care, not just to...
Well-deserved.
Absolutely. So in addition to working with some of the live beam scenarios to train their workforce and to integrate wearable sensors and technology and other simulation-based tools, we are utilizing this for remote monitoring. And so what you see here actually is a picture of Dr. Scott Wiltz, who is the medical director of the Simulation Center, and he was beaming in, and the two individuals in front of him, one is one of our doctoral students, and the other is a patient who had traumatic brain injury. But what Dr. Wiltz is doing is he's real-time medical monitoring and engaging with the patient and carrying out assessment. So this takes us really further ahead in being able to utilize this from a clinical delivery.
Yeah, we're like well past training. This is now real-time therapeutics.
Absolutely, absolutely. So here's, oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, but is it really working? Like, I imagine, how do you get a doctor to trust that this technology can, in fact, be just as good as being there? And how are you really measuring that the students are changing the way in which they're learning?
So this is probably the most exciting thing for me, is sharing some of the data. And so, I have this one slide to give you an observation of what it looks like when we're doing a data collection. We're interested in self-regulated learning and the learning science of this. And so what we started to do was measure the students' response. And we did that by putting some eye tracking, putting some glasses on them to track what they're looking at, right? If you're in a classroom, you see students looking at a screen, you think that they're taking in everything. But what we can do is actually see what they observed in a patient that has symptoms from head to toe. And so we can use that to track what they looked at. Did they miss the teachable moments, some of the subtle symptoms, and we can overlay that with the expert clinician.
Better. Not that good. Very good. And raise your hands up again.
And at 64 years of age, going on to 65, here I am, talking to you guys as a hologram.
I still have a little bit of slurred speech, but the doctor says I'm doing very well, and I keep working at it every day.
The pain is just unbearable at times, and I don't know what to do. I really don't.
I just need somebody to care about me and care about what my situation is.
Cancer shows up at the door, and I'm like, who's going to take care of my wife and kids? It went from being completely busy to all of a sudden scared that I wasn't going to live.
I take care of little things for my daughters, just to try, because I wasn't there at the beginning of their life. So now's my chance to spend time with them.
Come on a journey with us so we can show you how we're using frontier technologies to train next generation healthcare providers here at UCF.
It looks like someone's standing right in front of me. I'm able to see every little detail.
It's an honor and a privilege to treat older adults. They literally have shaped the world that we live in, and I enjoy helping them kick butt a little bit longer.
That's really beautiful, Bari.
Thank you.
Really, that's beautiful. And, that brings up so many feelings of warmth and empathy for me. So tell us just a little bit more about the empathy that this is driving.
Well, I'm glad you asked that. Empathy training is the fabric of everything we're doing, and really one of the reasons why we sought to utilize this technology. I pulled up a really fun experience that we had, and we were so grateful that Howie Mandel beamed in to UCF. And you see the selfie of all of our students. These are our doctoral students who spent some time talking across a panel of experts who have experiences with neurodiversity. And so Howie beamed in and shared his own experience in managing ADHD and OCD, and trained our students a little bit of what it's like and how to transition to be successful in adulthood. So here's a quick little video of what that experience looked like.
I mean, this is obvious. I have, OCD, ADHD. I've got social anxiety. I So the way I'm able to deal with it is I can stand in front of people as long as I'm 3,000 miles away and it's a hologram.
Wait. Can I say something?
Oh, wait a
Can
second.
I say something?
That's
Why
how
are
I deal with.
We had
Instead of a mask mandate,
Howie?
I just
Howie, are you here?
Stop the box and I
Stop
go.
the
I
video.
am, David.
Wait, this is way
David,
better
stop the
than the video. He's here.
Why are you
He's
showing
here.
videos when I'm actually here? These people are sitting here. Let them experience this.
Welcome to the stage. Howie and I work together in Los Angeles. I'm here in Las Vegas. You're in Los Angeles. But even though I'm
Right.
here, you are appearing here.
Can I tell you something? This is so much better than Southwest.
That's true. That's how
This
I got
is a dream come true. For those that don't know, 2 years ago, I found this on Instagram. I DM'd David and I said, I gotta be part of this. I'm
right.
such a germaphobe. I wanna be everywhere without going anywhere. I would love to go to my doctor's office or have my doctor come to me without going there. And I want an audience live to experience what it's like.
It's Howie.
In a couple of minutes.
This is, I have to say, I've met two people on the internet. I've met my wife and I've met Howie Mandel. And I moved in with both of them. I'm in your building. I'm in your production building. People come to see our demonstrations. Howie is there. It's often, people come, they come to see the hologram. Howie shows up and he starts talking about the technology, what it means to him, how this has improved his life. We're beaming Howie to comedy shows. And then it makes my job super easy. I sit down and then Howie takes over and you're the greatest pitch man.
Oh, thank you. I would like some commission then.
We'll work on that.
But David, it's more than that. This technology is now, and as somebody who has aged, time is precious. So I can speak to a doctor, I can speak to an audience, I can get information from this screen. It is very doable. I heard you mention earlier, on this side, all I need is an iPhone to be there with you live. I am in the room. I'm staring at you people. Hey, you people out, what is the difference between the people sitting on the high tops and the people that have the love seats?
General admission in the front, and we got the VIPs in the back. I think that's where
And
we're at.
I also want to mention, in just a couple seconds, when you say we can open this up to the audience so they can interact with me.
Absolutely.
But I just want to show you, in keeping with healthcare, in a couple of minutes, we're going to be taking volunteers to come up to the stage and actually check my prostate.
Well, this just became a different show, Howie. Well, so Howie, hi, this is
Are there
Danielle.
any questions?
Yeah, this is
Hi,
Danielle. Hi. So I'm a huge AGT fangirl, and to boost my mood, I watch Golden Buzzer videos all the time, so thank you. And I would just love to hear, you are connecting to an audience as your craft, and you see Proto and this way of connecting with an audience as being something that's really real. Help us understand why you're so in love with this technology.
Because this is not FaceTime, this is not Zoom. I am there with you. I'm actually in Vegas, and I'm not a techno nut. I'm an elderly person who calls my kids every day to figure out why my phone isn't working. Yet I'm standing there in this room, in this convention with you in Vegas. And the only difference is between what you're doing and what I'm doing is I can't smell anything. But I'm sure this crowd smells
They
great.
smell wonderful. They smell wonderful, Howie, so you're missing out. But it's, we oftentimes say if you can't be there, you could beam there. You're beaming in. Also, Dr. Bari Hoffman is here, too. She recently saw you when you beamed into UCF last summer.
Hi, Howie. It's good to see you again.
Hi, doctor. It was great to interact with your students who were, wanted to talk to a real patient. I've been open about my mental health issues, and I got to talk to them, and hopefully they gleaned something from my discussion. But I was there.
They're still talking about it.
So am I. That's what we're doing right now.
Can you share just a little bit more about how the technology helps with health for you?
To be totally honest, this is whether you're a medical practitioner, you can be in more than one place at once. So I could be communicating if you were the patients. But as a patient, I can be here in my doctor's office on one of the M's on desk, show him a rash, show him my movement, say it hurts when I do this, and I don't have to go to a doctor's office. I don't have to go anywhere, but I can be everywhere. This is so simple. This is so exciting.
Maybe we should all dance. Who wants to get up and dance with Howie? Does anybody have a question for Howie?
You can dance.
We do.
Does anybody have a question for me?
Yeah, come on up right here.
Use the microphone so I can
And bring
hear
your camera so you can take a selfie.
Hey, you said you used the iPhone to do the setup on your end. Can you talk a little bit more about how what your setup looks like on that side for those of us here in the audience?
Yeah, I'm standing in front of a wall or a piece of paper with an iPhone aimed at me. All I need is 4K so that your picture is clear.
Okay.
And then I'm looking at you on virtually like a laptop. But the fact is there's no latency. You're actually here. You're standing in front of me.
Very cool. That is very cool. Yeah, can I take a selfie?
Isn't
real
it?
quick?
Yeah, go ahead, take a selfie.
Please, come closer.
Who else would like to have a little chat with Howie? In the pink.
Here we go. Wait.
That's a good one. That's going right up on Facebook, Howie.
I know.
And the setup that Howie has
Tag me at Howie Mandel.
At Howie Mandel. And we have a setup just like the one that Howie's standing in at our booth right next door. So you'll be able to
So where's the booth, David?
It's right here. It's right. I'm looking right
door.
now. It's right here. It's right here. Yes. We continue. Please. Is there another question?
Yeah, right here.
Yeah, right here. The lady in pink.
Yes, thank you so much for taking my question. My name is Dr. Therese Canaris. I'm a pediatrician at Johns Hopkins, and it's an honor to meet you. I would love to know, as a parent yourself, what type of technology do you wish you had to be a better parent, especially pertaining to health?
I think the key is communication and vision, the ability to see my grandchild and my children right here and interact like I'm interacting with you. I also am dealing with family members who are dealing with health problems and they're immune compromised. I could visit them right there in the hospital and talk to them. I could talk to their doctors and caregivers and be informed myself. And I got to tell you that my kids and my grandchildren come in every day into this office, and they are so thrilled just to beam themselves to wherever we can beam them. These pieces of equipment exist right now all over the world. And they're incredibly affordable.
Thank you. Thank you. That was a great question. Howie, we have time for
one selfie?
Oh, a selfie. We're going to take
please.
the selfie, but while we're taking the selfie, we'll have time for one more question. Is there a
I thought there would be more, David. I thought because this was AARP that I was going to stand here for a while and they could just watch me age.
Okay. It is the one thing we all have in common, Howie, so that's great.
Please, everybody, come on up.
Come on,
around.
Trendon.
All right. Okay.
Here we go,
We'll take
Trendon,
the
right
gentleman
here.
in the front.
Trendon's got the AARP brand sneaks.
Oh, of course. So, Howie, being an entertainment personality that you are, and such a famous person, how do you feel that this technology could not only affect? Oh, I got you. How do you feel that this technology could not only impact healthcare but also entertainment as we go, forward as time progresses?
Well, that's a great question. The truth is, I think that this technology, and I told this to David when I first got involved, this is a blank canvas of technology. So whether it's your healthcare, getting information, receiving information, commerce, you can buy things. This is an actual touch screen. You can be informed, you can learn, you can buy, you can visit. Think of this like when you first saw an iPhone. You thought, oh, this is a cool phone. Then you thought, oh, you can put your pictures in it. You can listen to your music on it. You can do your work on it. The last thing I do is a phone call. This is just one element of what you can do. And I could be a caregiver. I could be a patient. I can be an entertainer. I could be a family member. You know, whatever you need it for, you as the customer or the person that has it decides what you want to use this for. But this checks so many boxes, no pun intended. But this is the ultimate in thinking outside the box.
We sent Howie to a Just for Laughs comedy festival. So thousands of miles away, he was able to entertain, and I don't think that there's another job, maybe being a physician, that requires as little delay in response as a comedian. So in real time, beaming internationally to land a lot of jokes, huge laughs, and do you want to get a selfie with Howie before we I think so. I think we need to do this. And I know you're very busy, Howie, so
that.
Yeah. And I can only imagine how much public support would be behind this.
David,
if
I'm
this was on
actually
AGT.
doing nothing. You said I was coming to Vegas.
I would like to take a selfie with you. This is the closest Howie will ever let me get to him, actually.
There we go.
We don't.
All right, let's all get a picture with Howie too. Come on, David.
All right.
Come on, let's get a group picture.
Right.
Let's get a group picture.
Oh, here we go. Okay. All right.
Taking the picture. There's.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you,
There's
Howie.
A guy right there in the aisle. The guy in the aisle is taking the picture. There we go.
Howie,
Thank
this
you,
is
buddy.
great. You're amazing. What
I
are we
know.
doing?
Wait, the guy in the aisle. Stay on your knees like that. I want to get a shot of you. I'm going to get a shot of you. There you go. I want to get a selfie of this audience. Everybody,
Inception.
Can everybody get closer together? Could everybody just come on, as a group.
All right.
I'm serious.
Howie's telling you guys to get together. Let's.
Oh, this is amazing. Smile, and oh, that's great. Okay, I'm gonna get this picture and I'll send it to you. Oh my God, this is my Vegas. Oh yeah, guys, get down there. Barry, David, get down there. Get in front.
You want me to get in front too?
Yes, everybody. You should be in the picture.
Okay, all right.
These are the people we're talking to. Okay, you ready?
Yes.
On the count of three. You got it? One. Wait, here we go. 1, 2, 3. Oh my God, that was gorgeous. Thank you, everybody.
Everybody turn around. Let's get a picture with Howie.
Beam you later.
Beam you later, Howie.
Beam you later. I'm gonna walk out of it. Or you're gonna dissolve me out of it.
All right, everybody turn around. We'll get one picture with Howie before he goes. Everybody turn around, turn around.
Oh, you're gonna get one picture?
One big picture
Turn
with you
around.
in the background. All right, somebody
Okay,
in the
let's
back,
do
get
it.
this big group selfie. It's the big CES AARP selfie with Howie and Proto.
This is great.
Amazing.
We're talking about technology, and all we're doing is selfies.
We're taking selfies.
That's right, the ultimate.
Anyway, I am a member of AARP. I'm off to Denny's to get the Grand Slam 20% off.
Good job,
Beam
Howie.
you later.
Beam you later. Howie Mandel.
Howie Mandel, everybody.
Holy cow.
Thank you.
But
That was awesome.
That was great.
That was awesome.
He is wonderful. This is what
Thank
it's like
you.
at work every day for me. This is why I was talking about my kids earlier, and I go to work to go on vacation. Spending time with Howie is amazing.
So, David, we have just one last topic before we go. We started with Captain Kirk,
Yes.
Bill Shatner.
Yes.
But there's also an opportunity to integrate AI into these conversations. We've been talking to real people. We've been looking at real hearts and brains. Tell us about how you're incorporating AI into Proto.
Well, one of the things that that Bill Shatner loved so much, one of the things that he was actually most scared of was artificial intelligence. So we introduced Mr. Bill Shatner to AI chatbot that we call Protobot. She's the first avatar in the Proto GPT series. He started with fear and trepidation. Over the course of their 15-minute interview and conversation, they created a relationship with each other. This really shows. We have a quick video, and then Bill will have some final words and we'll beam out.
Protobot, who are you?
I am Protobot, a holographic assistant created by Proto Hologram. I assist with a variety of tasks, such as providing information, answering questions, and performing simple tasks.
Are you knowledgeable?
I am knowledgeable on a wide range of topics, but I may not have answers to everything.
As I talk to you, I become more familiar with what you have to say and answer, and I feel more comfortable talking to you. Is that valid?
Absolutely. It's completely valid to feel more comfortable and familiar as we interact more. Building rapport and trust in any conversation is a natural progression.
That's incredible. That's incredible.
Thank you so much. I'm delighted to have been able to assist you.
Well, I think that's incredible is the hashtag for this session. Hashtag that's incredible, Proto Holograms. Thank you, David. Thank you, Dr.
Thank you,
Bari
Danielle.
Hoffman. Thank you to all of you for joining us. It's been a real joy, and we look forward to seeing how you can apply this new technology to help make aging easier. Have a great CES.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we conclude this incredible journey through AARP's AgeTech Collaborative at CES, today we've proven that age is no match for the wonders of technology. From the latest gadgets to the most innovative ideas, we've seen that the future belongs to those who embrace change, adapt, and of course, keep pushing the boundaries, because the adventure never ends for those who dare to explore. As we leave this event, remember that getting older isn't about losing touch. It's about gaining experience and sharing laughter. So let's continue to explore, innovate, and maybe even master the art of texting without calling our grandchildren. A big thank you to AARP for hosting this fantastic event today, and to all of you for being here. Let's keep pushing the boundaries, challenging the status quo, and making every day an adventure.